I've got one of my new best friends who's going to take care of my district. Has thrown his hat in the ring to do something for the area he lives in. What got you started? What was that spark? Tell me, that said, you know what, I'm gonna get this done myself.
Well, like I was telling you earlier, went back in February. I rejoined the Republican Party, and I saw how things was going around the country as well as my district, and I wanted to get involved. So I talked to Deborah Roche, who's a great lady to talk to.
Yes, you go.
She advised me to go talk to Eddie Adams, he's my mentor. I mean, that guy's like a surrogate father for me.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And he told me how to do it, and he just very, very inspired me to get into it. And then the first thing he always told me, get good people around you. So that's why I went and got Kelso Town.
Hey, Kelso.
How you doing?
I'm good, babe. I'm good.
And that got, I really want to get involved because I sat back and I lived in the district for 28 years.
Yes.
Okay, and I have grown up a lot, and I've seen jobs leave. I've seen a lot of more crime come to this area than what is being reported, and poor lighting, and the roads are horrible. And I don't see anybody changing the way things are done.
So you saw a situation that you live in, that I live in, really.
Yes.
You saw a situation, and and like a lot of us, we waited for that. And this phrase has been co-opted. I even hate to use it. Change. We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this change. And
but it wasn't the change we hoped for.
Yeah. We wait for this change, but we've been promised and promised and promised and promised in our area, while other areas of Hillsborough County have grown and gotten business and done all this stuff. Nothing is coming. And the only changes that have happened that have been positive have been internal changes from people in the, and there are some people who are in the community who are part of East Tampa Violation Partnership and Front Porch and some other organizations that are doing their best with limited funds, and and you know what, they're doing their best, but the real changes that you need that have to come from other sources have not happened. You saw it and you said, it's time for change.
Yeah.
I hate to even use the phrase anymore. They've taken the word from me, Joe.
Good.
Well, I mean, I use that also, not the way
it's been used.
Before, because I always say you have to change the mindset.
Yes.
If you change the mindset, you change the attitude, and you change the results that are being in the community, and that's what needs to happen. And that's why I wanted to get involved, because I'm very passionate about what I see. And I don't think, in what you say, very limited money that's going to the district, but we need somebody there that's going to be able to spend it where it's needed.
That's true. And we talked about lighting before. It's dark in areas.
And it's dark all over.
And we've learned. I mean, we've all learned that if you put lights out somewhere, the roaches will go somewhere else.
Yes. Like I was explaining to you this morning, I go to work at 5:30 in the morning. I come outside, I look to the left, I see darkness. I look to the right, I see darkness. I turn the corner. It's
still dark.
It's still dark.
It's still dark.
I don't get any lights until I get towards 21st and 7th Avenue. That's when the lights come.
Wow.
And that's what needs to change.
Yeah. I mean, you start. Everyone's done the studies. You light the neighborhood up. You make sure there's lights. Crime goes down.
Yeah, it does.
You
bring people back to the area. You bring jobs back to the area. But as long as we're in the dark, it's going to stay that way. As long as we have current leadership that's in there now, or past leadership, it ain't changed anything. You can always sit there and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then we don't see you anymore into another 4 years.
When it's time to when it's time to vote again. Yeah, that's really been the dynamic, and I've noticed that in my time living around here too. Other than lighting, because I know that's a real important thing. What are your other plans, and how do you plan on implementing some of them? I know you have to get cooperation of those people who are there. I get that. Tell us what you want to do. I mean, once we get lights, we can do some stuff. But what else do you want to do?
Well, I want to improve the roads also, as well as the storm water drainage, because when Kelso even commented on this, he said we have some of the worst roads it is. They're very bumpy. And then when it rains real heavy, it floods. 7th Avenue floods, Hillsborough Avenue floods, and I know a lot of people that live off Hillsborough and 56, between Hillsborough and 56 to 22nd in Hillsborough, it floods. You got cars on the water, and we need to change those.
Yeah, I'm not talking just basic where it's torn up a little bit. I'm talking the roads are actually dipping. Like
Yes.
I remember I mentioned the first time I drove back from our house, I was going down 34th, and I came by the railroad tracks, and I went too fast, and I almost tore up my suspension.
Yeah.
Because it's so messed up around there. So, I mean, that's a really...
And I'll tell you, I used to, and hi everybody, this is Old Home Week. I used to live on the corner of 34th Street and 18th. And I drove down there I drove through there the other day, and that road, and nothing down there has been changed since I lived down there when I was in high school. And I was in high school where we used to have to ride horses to high school. So it's been a long time.
Oh my God.
Nothing, that road down there, especially from like Osborne all the way to Hillsborough, nothing has changed.
Well, I'll tell you like this. I also look at, you have a lot of more empty buildings.
Yes, we do.
That's also there. Now, I talked to Kelso about this. Well, not Kelso, another friend of mine. Gene Bar was closed maybe about a couple years ago. That was right off 22nd and 21st, right?
Okay.
They immediately tore it down. Now, the chip in is still there. It's still empty, and has not been demolished or anything.
Wasn't there? Didn't the mayor have a campaign that earlier that they were going to abandon structures that are being used for illegal activities and tearing them down? Wasn't there a program a little bit ago?
It was, but the chip in has been empty for what? 10 years.
Easy.
10 years. And if you drive a little bit lower on Columbus and 21st, there's another empty building that's right there, and that's been empty since I was a kid.
Wow. Yeah.
And and I'm trying to find out what is code enforcement doing.
I know they're in my neighborhood. That's what they're doing.
Well, you know what? They're in my neighborhood too, and
they're bothering me.
Yeah, and they sent me a letter saying, "Hey, we need to cut your grass," and I want to send them another letter saying, "Hey, you need to tear some of these buildings down."
There you go. There you go. Well, what can the rest of us do to help?
What we need to do is get involved. All of us need to get involved. We need to be more. We need to vote more. We need to be proactive in our neighborhoods, because if we do not do this, it's not going to never change. We have. I always say your power is in your voting power. And as long as we continue to be a low voting district, it's never going to change. And that's what we need. Well, I see that other neighborhoods are getting together, but we need people to knock on doors and ask them, what can we do to improve your life? What can we do to make sure we keep the thugs out and the criminals out, and to have your neighborhood safe?
There you go.
Because I have young kids, and I love for my kids to be outside and playing like I see on Bayshore and New Tampa, and everywhere else.
Right.
But in East Tampa, that can't happen.
No, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Listen, as time goes on, I want to have you back as you build your campaign, as you build avenues by which we can help and my listeners can help, because